the rest of us. Or like Brianna is the bridge between like all her friends and us lah. Yeah, so you just choose these kind of people to be your block accounts so that they can reach out and cover the whole block. So that there's always someone in your group of friends that's included in your block account. And so you feel like you have some like ownership over what's happening in the block. Yeah, that's something.
Thank you all candidates. Hope you answered the question. Nice. Can we have another question, please? Gwen?
Hello, I'm Gwen, year 2. And I just want to ask all the blockheads also, like in a hypothetical situation where your blockmates bring outside friends back to hall, what will you all do about it?
I bring back as in stay over or?
Both stay over or like hang out in the lounge or just being around the block that might let your other blockmates feel uncomfortable.
Okay, that's a good question. Start from Isaac.
I think generally it's fine if your friends come in. As long as you're not really bothering anyone or doing anything that's like wrong. Yeah, so as long as everyone is happy and no one is really affected, then it's fine. If someone is not happy, then I think as part of the block, you should always know that you have responsibility to like make sure that everyone's happy in the block. So I think just kindly ask his friends to like quieten down and not bother other people.
Hello. So I agree with what Isaac has said. So like, it's the responsibility of the person who brought in his friends to make sure that the noise levels and whatever he does is it's not too uncomfortable to the rest of the residents. So in the instance where his friends are too troublesome or too noisy, I think the best course of solution that I can give is just to ask my own resident to take care of his friends and ask them to stop being such a nuisance, or like I have to trouble the security guard to get him out. I mean, that's in the extreme case which I don't want to resort to lah.
Okay, first thing we'll master see the video not first. Okay, so by right you should bring friends back lah, firstly. But then if you do, which I also do, okay, I think the most like basic courtesy to your own blockmates, to your neighbors is to keep quiet. I mean, obviously, like don't interrupt other people lah. Then if I see like someone, okay, firstly I'll ask people around them, are they okay with it first? And if I can hear like maybe someone's room very noisy, maybe I'll go check first. Then if the people beside them say very noisy that they cannot take it anymore, yeah, I'll talk to the person, be quiet, or maybe just leave, maybe go to other hall. I mean, no. We just leave, or maybe like drink elsewhere or something lah. But then if they can promise to keep quiet and like don't interrupt anyone, I think it's still fine to like stay there and everything.
I think that as long as the rules are kept, like let's say noise, right? That's a big problem that most people are not facing when they bring friends over. And on top of that, like I think that you need to know that the hall is primarily for the residents in the hall. So like you were saying, let's say they hang out in the lounge, then you need to know that the priority of the lounge is for the people of the block or for the residences in the hall. So if they are in the lounge, but it's a bother for the people who actually need to use the lounge, then of course they shouldn't be there lah. And as for the rooms and stuff, let's say, yeah, they end up making too much noise. I think it's also in the blockhead's job scope lah, that if you are supposed to care about the welfare of the people in your block, then it should be your problem if it's too much. Yeah. So anything in moderation. Yeah.
I like to copy and paste the answer from the previous. Because yeah, I agree with all of them. I think it's okay that you can bring back friends outside. Just don't make so much noise. Let's say they make a lot of noise and I told them to be quiet and all this, and I really did all my part to make sure they are, not being a nuisance. Then let's say Dr. Alpha still will complain, then I cannot really defend them anymore. So the guy that brought back his friends will get demerit points, and I really cannot do anything about it already. Because really I've warned him already. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Can we have another question? Imran?
Hello. Hi, Imran. Year 2. Okay. Pantry fridge. We're talking about pantry fridge, What are you going to do if your residents complain to you someone stole your food?
Okay, we will start from Melvin.
Hello. Yeah, I agree with the fridge and pantry problem. E-block fridge is always filled with like stuff, right, rotten stuff. It's like expired already. There have been like some of the food there have already been named. Like the owner have labeled them with all these already. Then if let's say if someone really take it, right, then of course there will be need to be an investigation, like who will take it, all this. But I think if it's like 1 meal, 2 meal, I think it's fine. But I don't think anyone will like be so like to steal milk, you know. But of course, like if the problem persists, like every time there's something going missing in the pantry and fridge, right, I think outside the pantry there is a camera, right? Yeah, there's a camera. I think we can use that camera to like see who go in and then do the investigation. Yeah, but like to small scale, of course people complain, but then we will deal with it like, individually. Thank you.
I think the problem of stealing has always been a problem, and I think the reason because of that is I think the reason is because like surveillance is always difficult and maintaining is always difficult. So for the pantry, right, it's different from let's say like the lounge where things are bought by the com, or the toiletries where the things are your own and you've decided to leave it there. Because the pantry is a fridge, you know, it's a fridge. It's something that you may not have in your own room. So the thing about that is that, for one, you can hide, not hide in a sense where like you put it in an obscure part of the fridge, but I mean like if you put it in like a plastic bag or if you cover it up and you label it with your room number or your name, that makes it a bit harder for people to steal and may deter people from stealing. But let's say if someone steals it, and I mean as a blockhead, your first reaction is to ask, right? But after asking, if nothing ends up like showing up, then you may want to talk to like the person who's had it stolen and see whether like there is a way around this, like for them in particular. Let's say maybe their friend has a fridge. If you're really very concerned, then yes, please put your things elsewhere. But I think wrapping it a bit more, because I mean that works for me. Yeah, as long as people can't tell what it is, and it's a bit harder for them to get to, people are not as inclined to take your things. Yeah, so I hope that helps.
For us, we got this practice of doing the pantry party. Okay, we used to clean the fridge every like consistent like intervals. And I think this year we didn't do it very well because like I think we do it for twice, 3-4 times only in the whole semester. Yeah, I think we can do it more regularly, right? Just to like, because pantry party in a way is like keeping track of the things in the fridge in a way. And normally people think that, normally people like steal things when they think that it's unwanted. Like imagine the thing is like in there for very long already. Someone will open the fridge, this thing like no one take. Maybe they just take. Yeah, that's the mindset of some people. And also if the thing is not labeled, maybe they will take also because they think it's unwanted. No one will know. But I think by playing with the human mind or psychology thing, yeah, with labeling, like masking tape, and I can like put some masking tape and some like markers outside the fridge. So people just label the stuff. And also like doing pantry party more regularly. I think we can like not solve this problem, but actually like keep it to a lower scale. Like less people will do things. I hope so.
Yeah, hi. So adding on to what they said, I believe that the first response in the case of a theft is actually to make sure that it is indeed a case of theft, because what has happened before was that in our pantry there are times where people have the same wrappings over. People used, as in they use the same plastic bags to cover their stuff, and they took it without really checking for their names. So like this is a case of mistaken identity, where they took the items without checking and then they really consumed it, so there's nothing they can do. So by the time it really happened, it's kind of like an unintentional theft, because they didn't know they didn't know that they were committing that crime. So yeah, I think this should be the first priority, to confirm whether it was intentional or not. If it was in the case of being unintentional, I can just ask. I'll just appeal to the block check to ask the person to come forward, not to the whole block in general, because that's quite pressuring. He can either PM me or just PM the victim directly to say, I'm sorry, is there any way to make up to you? But on the other end, if let's say there's an intentional theft, intentional case of theft, and the person refuses to own up, I believe that there's nothing we could do, even if we launch an investigation, because surveillance camera is there, but surveillance is hard. The person might consume the food within the pantry where there's no form of surveillance inside that itself. So the better approach to this will actually be to talk to the victim to see if this is a consistent problem. If it is so, like what Demi has said, we can ask the victim to put his or her food at somewhere else where it's more safe, so that we can prevent future unfortunate incidents from happening. Yeah.
I think everything has already been covered. I think just let everyone understand that the theft is a problem that has been around. So when you put things in the fridge, just put it in, knowing, understanding that there's a chance that something will happen. Yeah, that's all.
Hope you answered the question, Imran. Can we have another question for the Blockhead candidates or the SSD? Yes?
Amos, year 3 C block. Okay, so this question comes as ex-SPT head. So first I want to thank all the ex-blockheads for their help during Fiesta, because Fiesta's main purpose is not block bonding, it's all bonding. And asking blockheads to help is an additional thing out of the blockhead's responsibility, I feel, because one of your focus as blockhead is definitely to bond the block. So along the way, this year, blockheads are done with a lot of additional work that didn't come expected. But these are some things that we cannot foresee or we cannot predict. Similarly, we cannot predict what might come next year at the start of the work year. So do you think events like these, ad hoc events, their main focus might not be to bond the block? Do you think these events still fall under the responsibility of the blockhead?
That's a very good question. Can we start with Isaac?
Okay, so I think as a blockhead, you're still part of the hall, so just do what you can to help. For events like Fiesta, maybe it's more sports. It's the play the games, the sports. Yeah, so you just try to get people to come down for the event. Anyways, it's expected that everyone comes down and support this kind of events. So as a blockhead, you just try your best to help. I don't think there's much more that you can expect other than just telling them to come down. Yeah, because in the end, everyone make their own decision.
Mic test. Okay, just to clarify, right, for all those ad hoc events, it's not just merely asking them to come down. It's about maybe you have to set up a booth, or you have to do additional administrative or miscellaneous stuff. So it's not purely asking them to come down. So with that in mind, do you want to make any changes to your answer?
Any additional responsibilities, just take it in stride. If you need to do something, just get it done. If you can help in any way, just do what you can.
Yeah, I also believe in the same principle of Isaac, but I believe it's more of like, if not you, then who? Because you're the blockhead of that block. So when responsibility flows down from other CCAs to the block, you are the person who should be taking up the responsibility of disseminating into your block. So in this sense, I believe that Blockhead has the full responsibility of taking on ad hoc tasks in the event when there is. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I think if the matter is very small, it's smaller, then we don't mind helping. But if the matter is big, I got responsibility to protect my account from doing more work. And as you all know, their points are not really added. Just saying. Yeah. So I still got responsibility to do after my people. Because after all, if I say, okay, I take out this job, the work doing will be me and my block com. And it's not fair for them in a way. If it is your SPD job, then why bother my block com for it? Yeah, so I would say that if it's too big, like example SPT, Fiesta, if you say today is like not my job, right, then we shouldn't be doing it. Because you are like denying their chance to like enjoy themselves doing Fiesta. Example, for the day I went for my touch match, come back, then you in the booth. Then after that, like there's a Ravi burger, I eat one, after that no more already. After that, don't pay, I didn't eat anything. Yeah, end up like I didn't really like do a lot of things in Fiesta. I didn't even like have a chance to play the games because I managed my Seabird booth. Yeah, so I think you must set the line very clearly, so that at least like you can take care of your own people, I can take care of my people. So at least like there's no like miscommunication in between.
Sorry, can I interject? So really, how do you draw the line?
Gel cam. Right. I think gel cam we can talk it out first. Then after that, maybe set everything nicely before. It's like writing a contract. You can't break a contract. Yeah. So maybe that can do it.
I think that at the very start of the year, right, you kind of plan out how your events will look like. So that's how you that's how you tell your block community like what to expect for the year to come. So when other events like this like are added on, to me, I don't think it's my block committee's responsibility. But as the block committee tends to have people who care a lot about the hall. So I'm sure that the block committee will take it on anyway because they care. And it's a favor, to me it's a favor. So when there are bigger things like Wei says, I think that they would still do it in the end. Like, no one rejects it because the people in there are people of substance and they are willing to work. But I think that maybe some like other form of appreciation can be